Hello and welcome to Instablogs Global Reports. This is Sukmani, fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: United Nations Human Rights Resolution in Sri Lanka fails to call for probe into conflict abuses. Troops might stay a decade in Iraq and Afghanistan, says U.S. Army Chief. And Kenyan migrants return home amidst worsened recession in the United States. The United Nations Human Rights Council has passed a resolution in Sri Lanka that failed to include calls by European nations for a probe into abuses during the 26-year civil war with the LTTE. The resolution, however, calls for Sri Lanka to protect its ethnic minorities. Sijay Samli from India strongly condemns the action, which she thinks could hamper the process of Tamil reintegration into the country's mainstream.
This is Savli, citizen journalist reporting from India on Instablogs. It is deeply disappointing to see that a majority of the United Nations human rights body failed to call for a look into human rights abuses and decided to overlook the indiscriminate killings of civilians in the Sri Lanka conflict. Sri Lankan diplomacy won the day with a strong Asian support comprising China, India and Pakistan. Sri Lanka has most successfully skirted doing any kind of justice to all those who lost their loved ones as a result of excess committed by Sri Lankan army in the conflict. The move has undermined the very purpose of the Council. For Sri Lanka, the act will further sow the seeds of Tamil grievance. Attempt to reintegrate the ethnic Tamil minority into national mainstream, if at all there was an intention to do so, has already encountered its first bottleneck.
In plain contradiction to President Barack Obama's promise of withdrawing U.S. troops from Iraq by the end of 2011, U.S. Army Chief of Staff General George Casey has said that despite plans to bring soldiers home over the next 3 years, the Pentagon is actually ready to keep U.S. forces in Iraq and Afghanistan for 10 years because of global events. Sijay has more from neighboring Jordan.
This is whther reporting for the Instablogs from Jordan. Around the beginning of May, and after resurgence of violence in Iraq, reports from Iraqi government came to reassure the American withdrawal from urban areas by the 30th of June, while working towards a full withdrawal from Iraq by the end of 2011. U.S. Army's Chief of Staff in Iraq said at a briefing that U.S. forces are ready to stay in Iraq for 10 more years despite previous plans. General George Casey blamed it on global trends and said that they are going in the wrong direction, all of which makes one wonder if the term global trends is in any way related to Iraqi oil.
With the U.S. economy in turmoil, several African migrants are returning home, including Kenyans, for a relatively better life. Sijay talks about the losses in terms of remittances and demands a change in citizenship laws.
This is Rose Wangui, a citizen journalist from Kenya, reporting on Instablogs. According to the latest Central Bank of Kenya statistics, Kenyans in the diaspora channeled back home close to 47 billion shillings in remittances last year alone, while between January and March this year, they sent close to 12 billion shillings. On Tuesday this week, the Washington Post quoted recent studies which had documented the plight of immigrants, including Kenyans, from the U.S. in recent months as a result of the high cost of living abroad. The report quoted several Kenyans expressing their reasons for quitting their well-paying jobs in the U.S. to return home. The recession will impact adversely on the remittances as more Kenyans living abroad return home. This is the more reason why we need to pass the law on dual citizenship so that Kenyans returning home and those who had taken up citizenship of other countries enjoy opportunities entitled to Kenyans and are free to return abroad once things improve without having to reapply for citizenship.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more citizen voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.